Have you ever wondered why the modern man feels so empty, so restless despite having everything at his fingertips? Food delivered to your door, entertainment available in your pocket, a warm bed, soft clothes, and a life stripped of pain. And yet, something feels wrong, deeply wrong, as if comfort itself has become the very thing that is suffocating your spirit. Before we go deeper, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're serious about reclaiming your edge, rediscovering your strength, and becoming the man you were meant to be. We don't sugarcoat things here. We uncover the truth, the kind most people are too afraid to say out loud. Now let me tell you a story. In the winter of 1914, a man named Ernest Shackleton led an expedition to Antarctica. His goal was to be the first to cross the entire continent on foot, but his ship, the Endurance, was swallowed by the ice. His men were stranded in one of the most brutal environments on Earth for over a year, surviving on frozen meat, sleeping in sub-zero temperatures, frostbitten, frost-covered, freezing to the bone. Not a single man died, not one. Now contrast that with today. A teenager misses his morning latte and spirals into a tantrum. A man gets ghosted by a girl and spends 3 days sulking under his blanket, binge-watching Netflix, scrolling Instagram reels for distractions. What happened? How did we fall so far? The answer is simple and terrifying. Comfort. It's not just making us soft. It's killing us slowly, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It numbs our instincts, steals our drive, and seduces us into stagnation. Like a python coiling around its prey, comfort doesn't strike fast. It tightens its grip slowly, making you think you're safe, until you stop breathing and don't even realize it. You weren't built for endless ease. Your brain was forged through chaos. Our ancestors chased mammoths with spears, battled storms without shelter, and fought for survival every single day. Progress was life. Movement was mandatory. Comfort didn't exist. It was earned. And yet, here we are, with all the modern luxuries and more anxiety, depression, and aimlessness than ever before. You want to know why you feel stuck? Why you can't seem to get motivated? It's not because you're lazy. It's because you've been taught that comfort is the goal, when in reality, comfort is the graveyard of greatness. Look at history. No great man ever came from a life of ease. Genghis Khan was raised in the wilderness after his father was poisoned. Elon Musk slept on the floor of his Tesla factory. David Goggins ran with broken legs. Do you think they were chasing comfort? No. They were addicted to progress. But how does that happen? How does a man become addicted to struggle, to growth? The answer lies in understanding your biology. You see, your brain is wired for dopamine, the chemical of reward, the same chemical that makes you crave junk food, porn, or social media. But here's the twist. You can train your brain to get that same high from discipline, from pain, from progress. Dopamine doesn't care where it comes from. It just fires when you win. That's the secret. You can rewire your brain to crave the grind. But it takes a choice. A brutal, conscious choice to step into discomfort again and again, until it becomes familiar, until it becomes home. Imagine this. A man wakes up at 5 a.m. His bed is warm. His mind screams, "Stay." But he steps into the cold. He runs while the world sleeps. He reads while others scroll. He chooses steak and vegetables when his body begs for sugar. And slowly something changes. The pain becomes purpose. The sacrifice becomes strength. The discomfort becomes identity. He becomes a weapon. You see, comfort is addictive, but so is growth. You just have to suffer long enough to break the first addiction and fall in love with the second. It's not motivation that gets you there. It's momentum. Progress is a drug, but unlike comfort, it doesn't numb you. It awakens you. Every rep, every page, every cold shower, it sharpens your edge. And the more you sharpen, the less you can tolerate being dull. Still think comfort is harmless? Let me paint you another picture. A lion raised in captivity, fed daily, watered, sheltered, never has to hunt. It lives, but it never roars. It never feels the thrill of the chase, the taste of blood, the power of the kill. It dies safe and forgotten. Now picture a lion born in the wild, scarred, hungry, battle-tested. It may not live as long, but every day it feels alive. It owns the jungle. It earns its breath. And when it dies, even the ground remembers. Which one are you becoming? In a world where convenience is worshipped, discipline is rebellion. The men who reject comfort are the ones who rise. Not because it's easy, but because no one else will do it. The moment you start craving discomfort, seeking challenge like oxygen, you flip the script. You go from victim to creator, from passive to powerful. Think about your own life. How many times have you quit something just because it was uncomfortable? How many dreams died because the path felt too long, too hard, too uncertain? The truth is, everything you want lives on the other side of what you're avoiding. Your potential isn't buried under mystery. It's buried under comfort. And the worst part? Society will cheer for your comfort. They'll applaud mediocrity. Take it easy, they'll say. You deserve it. But the question is, what does your soul deserve? Because easy isn't noble. Easy doesn't build kings. Easy builds dependence. The path of the man is not the easy one. It's not supposed to be. It's the crucible, the fire that forges. And the moment you stop asking for it to be easy is the moment you start rising. Because growth hurts. Progress is pain in disguise. And if you're not hurting a little every day, you're probably not growing. So, are you ready to break free? Because in the next part, I'm going to reveal how to weaponize discomfort, how to turn the very thing you avoid into the force that fuels your dominance. We'll look at how ancient warriors trained their minds for war, how modern science supports the Spartan lifestyle, and the 3 rituals that will flip your brain from fragile to fire-forged. But first, take a moment. Ask yourself, what has comfort cost you already? There's a reason ancient warriors didn't just train their bodies. They trained their minds to find calm in chaos. The Spartan boy wasn't taught to avoid pain. He was taught to master it, to look suffering in the eye and smile. At just 7 years old, boys in the Agage were ripped from their families, starved deliberately, beaten publicly, and made to fight. Why? Because the Spartans understood something we've forgotten. A man who fears discomfort is a man who can be broken. Fast forward to today. We flinch at criticism, panic at inconvenience, run from confrontation. But here's what those ancient warriors knew. Pain isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's the furnace that burns away weakness and leaves only what's essential. The same truth applies now. Want to become unstoppable? Then you must learn to use discomfort as fuel. It begins with 3 core rituals, not hacks, not shortcuts. Rituals. Because real change doesn't come from tips. It comes from identity. The first is voluntary hardship. Do something every single day that makes you uncomfortable. Cold showers, long runs, fasting, speaking in public. Anything that triggers resistance in your mind. Why? Because every time you do, you send a message to your subconscious. I do not run from pressure. I rise. The second is brutal self-honesty. Sit alone. No phone, no distractions, just a pen and a notebook. Ask yourself the hard questions. Where are you playing small? Where have you chosen safety over greatness? Where are you lying to yourself? Write it down. Own it. Because a man who can face his own darkness becomes unbreakable. The third is obsession with momentum. Not motivation, momentum. Motivation fades. Momentum compounds. It means you don't wait to feel ready. You act. You build a system. You set your alarm. You move your body. You read your books. You don't negotiate with laziness. You build streaks, not excuses. Because progress, even slow progress, is addictive. And here's the key. Once your brain associates growth with reward, once it feels that fire, you won't need outside validation. You'll crave the next step, and then the next. And soon, comfort will disgust you. Stagnation will feel like poison. You'll become the kind of man who doesn't just chase goals, he needs them to breathe. Look at the world's highest performers. Do you think Jocko Willink wakes up at 4:30 a.m. every day because it's fun? No. He does it because that's who he is. Discipline isn't what he does, it's what he's built, and so can you. But only if you stop chasing the easy life and start chasing the life that means something. This isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming resilient. You will fall. You will fail. You will feel like quitting. But if you've trained yourself to find purpose in pain, to see discomfort as a guide, not a threat, you'll rise faster than most people even start. Let me tell you one more story. There's a Japanese concept called misogi. It's the idea of doing one insanely hard thing every year. Something so difficult that there's a high chance you'll fail. Why? Because it stretches you. It shows you what you're made of. It strips away the illusions and exposes your raw capacity. One man's misogi was to carry a 95-pound rock under the ocean for 5 miles. He didn't succeed, but when he came out of that water, he said he'd never felt more alive. That's what we're missing. Aliveness, not comfort, not pleasure, not dopamine on demand. Aliveness, the electric current that runs through your spine when you do something you thought was impossible. When you break your limits and realize they were lies all along. So, ask yourself this right now. What would your life look like if you were addicted to progress? What if every time you heard no, you pushed harder? What if every time it hurt, you smiled because you knew pain was proof you were leveling up? You are not here to coast. You are not here to be liked. You are here to evolve. Comfort is the killer of kings, the graveyard of warriors. It whispers lies in your ear and numbs your fire. But now you know. You've seen the truth behind the curtain. And once you've seen it, you can't go back. You were born to climb, to bleed, to conquer. You were born to suffer well and emerge stronger. You were born to die with your sword in your hand, not a remote in your palm. So here's your call to arms. Stop numbing. Start building. Replace escape with effort. Replace distraction with direction. The path will hurt. It will test you. You'll lose friends. You'll shed layers. But in the end, you'll become the man your future self will kneel to thank. And when others look at you confused, wondering why you choose the hard path, you won't even need to answer. Your results will speak. Your presence will speak. Your discipline will scream. This isn't just self-help. This is self-rescue, because comfort is killing you. But progress will resurrect you. If this hits you deep, share it. Comment your thoughts. Tell the world you're done playing small. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, because this is just the beginning of your transformation. Let them chase comfort. You're chasing greatness.